Hello. So this video is about the IFI Bluetooth DAC. And I've been searching for, I think I might have even mentioned this in the past. I've been searching for a Bluetooth DAC amp. Really just a DAC. I have my own amps I want to plug into. I like component systems. It's more flexibility. But sometimes, single-ended or single components. So I've been searching for a good Bluetooth DAC for a while, and I've tried out quite a few, and I haven't liked most of them, honestly. Most of the Bluetooth DAC or DAC amp combos that I've tested have been just not to my liking. Just didn't sound good. Had that kind of low quality sound or feel to them. Interruptions with the Bluetooth, staticky, just not good music or sound reproduction, right? And the problem is that I listen to so much wired or tethered audio equipment that's really high quality is that I'm a little jaded now and I'm a little elitist, I guess you could say. So I hate to be that way, but I do expect a certain level of quality in the stuff that I listen to nowadays. I tried out a few, like I said, and I got this IFI. The last IFI product I tried was the DAC amp. I think I can't remember what it's called now. But anyway, I liked it. I really liked it a lot. I just wasn't really for me and what I had set up. So I didn't keep that. And I was hesitant to get the Bluetooth IFI. Now, the reason I got this is I have a sound system up in my bedroom. Well, I have this. I have the THX 389, the Drop 389 up on my nightstand. And I listen to, because a lot of times, at night and other times, even early in the morning, sometimes I like to listen to a little bit of music, and I'll put some headphones on and plug them in. Now, the problem is that I don't have an entire sound system up there. So, and I don't really want to have a whole sound system up there. So all I want is just the amp and, a Bluetooth connection to it so that I can use my phone because I have a lot of music on my phone. And likewise, do I have my, yeah, I do. Like shoot, this thing's dirty. Sorry. I am kind of messy lately. I've got the WM1A, the Sony WM1A, and this will Bluetooth over to this or to other Bluetooth devices, and I can play music directly from it. My FiO F111, but my FiO M11 Pro, which is what I always use for the Bluetooth connection, that actually works the best of all the products for Bluetooth connection. So, and you could say, well, why don't you just use that for the headphones? And I could, and I do. It doesn't power all the headphones the same, and the battery drains really quick. This is plugged into the wall, and so I don't need to worry about charging anything or if it's going to work or not. If I'm going to go turn it on and go, crap, the battery's dead, and I got to go charge it. It's there when I want it to be there, and it's the sound quality is exceptional. So like I said, I tried different Bluetooth DACs, and I thought about getting a Bluetooth receiver and a DAC and the amp. I was trying combos, but this IFI, I was very surprised at just how good it sounded. My favorite little DAC so far has been this guy, the Tone. This thing's like, I did a review on this, and I really, really love this thing. As far as a DAC goes, in fact, this DAC with this amp, or this DAC with the Rupert Neve, is an incredible combination, but it's not Bluetooth. So, and supposedly they're coming out with a Bluetooth module you can plug in, but I haven't seen that anywhere yet. I think it might even be a do-it-yourself kind of thing, and I just don't have the time for that. So, that said, I thought, let me just get Bluetooth. I can either use my phone real quick, or I can use the M11 Pro or whatever. So this comes with a power supply. I don't have the box with me. I actually threw that out. I don't even have it anymore. But it comes with some cables, like a RC adapter. So there is an RCA adapter in right here, or out, sorry, to an amp, right and left. There is a coaxial. You can switch right here for analog or digital. So I have it on analog, digital. So really, this is if you're going to use optical coaxial or if you're going to use RCA. I've got it left sitting right there. This is a balanced 4.4 out, and we'll talk about that more a little bit later. There's your 5 volt DC 5 volt in, and there's your Bluetooth antenna. I keep this down. I don't really like that antenna sticking up in the room. It doesn't need to be up. I'm usually pretty close to this thing, and I get great reception. When it's on, which is, I leave it plugged in, except for right now, the IFI light will blink off and on like a slow fade. So that way it's waiting to receive. Once it's connected, this goes solid blue. Depending on the kilohertz or what you're playing, this little light will change different colors. Over here is the Bluetooth connection button. So if you press that, it makes the Bluetooth connection or scans. If you press it again, it can disconnect the Bluetooth. Very simple to use. I never touch anything on it, honestly. It just sits there like that. I have a cable that I use. Where is that cable? I pulled it out to show you guys. Yeah, I bought this cable off of Amazon. This is a heavy duty cable. I mean, this thing's kind of thick, and it's got a nice, really good quality. Let's see if you can see that there. Connector there. Heat shrink down. It goes into a split and some XLRs. Okay. So I got this on Amazon. I'll put a link to it. Excellent cable. It plugs from the 4.4 out on the back there directly into the balanced XLR on the back of the 789. So do you really need this? Could you just use RCA? I bet you could, and I bet it would sound just as good. I think it takes a fairly discerning ear to be able to hear the difference in this versus RCA. And I do it just because I want to try and make sure I have the best quality setup, but I don't necessarily think you need to have this. It comes with a purple RCA cable that plugs into here, and you can plug that directly into your back of your amp, whichever that is. And I didn't do it. I could have tested it. I'm sorry. I probably should have tested it so I could tell you guys, but it works fine. It sounded great with this, and I wanted to use the XLR. I like XLR. But I bet it would sound just as good with the RCA because I've tested other things. Now, as far as Bluetooth goes, Bluetooth, sometimes it just doesn't sound that great. And it could have to do with the protocol, aptX, the gigahertz, the bandwidth that you're running on. There's a lot of different things that could affect Bluetooth. And of course, just the internal componentry. Now, like I said, I use my phone a lot because the device you're sending from does make a difference, but not as big a difference as you might think. And I tried many devices, and my phone sounded just as good. I have a Galaxy Note Plus, the big one. And sound quality is the same, really, as coming from M11 Pro. The difference with the M11 Pro on my phone is M11 Pro has like 400 gigs of music on it, and my phone doesn't. My phone just has a small subset of music that I like. But the phone is more convenient, right? And it has a nice big screen to look at, so I do enjoy using it. Either way, I couldn't get a sound difference between using those two devices. They both sound exactly the same. So how did they sound? Well, they sounded excellent. Really, really good. So this plugged into the 789, and my HD800S plugged into this, my Sennheiser HD800S headphones, sounded just fantastic. I really like the way the HD800S sound on this 789. They sound good on the Rupert Neve as well, but that's a little bit different of a setup. I keep it on my desk because I do a lot more critical listening with that. But that 800S just sounds really good into this amp. So do a lot of things that I test, but especially that 800S. So this IFI coupled with the 789 and listening to my HD 800S and just over my phone, Bluetooth in, I really couldn't tell a difference. In fact, what I did was, I took the 789, the M11 Pro and I Bluetoothed over to this thing and I plugged the headphones in here because I've said that my HD800S headphones sound good on that M11 Pro, really, really good. So I plugged into this amp and did Bluetooth from the M11 Pro here and listened to the headphones. And then I unplugged from this and plugged directly into the M11 Pro, so I was no longer using Bluetooth. Other than the fact that there's a difference in sound between the 789 and the M11 Pro, not a huge difference, but a difference. I couldn't hear anything I didn't like. I couldn't hear anything that I couldn't tell you that this is better than the other or the other's better than this, because they're different. They're different, but both exceptionally good. But I can tell you that I was not displeased when I changed direct to a direct connection instead of Bluetooth. I think if you're doing a high-end setup where you've got something like this as your Bluetooth DAC, and then this is your amp, or a good, I should say this, a good amp, a good DAC, and a good Bluetooth receiver is going to sound almost as good as a wired setup, in some cases, not all cases. This IFI is exceptional. I tried several Bluetooth devices. I sent them all back. I didn't review them. I did review, I think, one. I've got an amp that I reviewed. It had some tubes and it was Bluetooth, but it sounded like hell. I didn't like it. But all the other stuff I tested, I just sent back. It just didn't work really good. I didn't like the way it sounded. This, I like the configuration because I could plug this into my home stereo and have that, if I wanted to. My receiver in my home stereo actually has Bluetooth capability, but it doesn't have the same kind of Bluetooth capability as this. This is much newer and has the latest protocols in it. It's got that same, really nice design that IFI has, this kind of really aesthetic. It's kind of a mixture between old school and modern, and I really like it. I think I'm the last one I did on the IFI, I think it's the Z can or the IFI can or something like that. I was saying that I really liked holding it because the way it was made, it just felt so good. It feels like one continuous piece of metal, and I believe it is. And yeah, this one is the same way, just really, really good construction. For the price especially, this is just a little over $100, and you get a DAC in here as well. And I saw a recent video by somebody else, and they had several DACs lined up on their desktop, and a couple pairs of headphones. And that individual was saying, doesn't matter, all DACs sound the same. And in fact, that person played the music over their phone, headphones plugged directly into the phone. And I know that particular phone, I've had it before. It's a Samsung phone. And they were saying that, all the DACs sound the same, even over the phone, it sounds the same. And they've got something wrong with their ears, because DACs do not all sound the same. I'm not saying there's vast differences, but there are differences. And a great example is that Tone T2 Pro, this guy right here that I brought out. That DAC, coupled with almost any amp I plugged it into, there's something about the sound that is just fantastic. I don't know what it's doing. Obviously, it's modifying the sound some way, but whatever it's doing, it sounds great. So I'm a little jaded now, and I've tried some different DACs out. Like the DAC on the ADI2 that I use for a lot of my testing, in fact, most of it, is fantastic as well. I really enjoy that device. In fact, I have my ADI2 plugged in with the Rupert Nev, and sounds really good. Now, the DAC in this, I like the way this sounds plugged into this 789 better than I liked the way the Zcan or the IFI, the other one I did a video on. I like it the way it sounds better, and I don't know why that is, what the combination difference is, but the DAC in this is good, and it does sound very high quality to me. Like I said, I've had it plugged into this now literally because I took a break from making videos while I was doing some other stuff. I've literally had this beside my bed listening to this combination for like 2.5 months now. And that's why I kept it. It's my favorite. I really enjoy the way this thing sounds. And it sounds good with a lot of headphones, not just the HD800Ss. I just find that those HD800Ss, they don't sound good with a lot of combinations. But when you find the right combination, they sound utterly fantastic. So In fact, so much so that I've even modified mine. So that's why I really like the setup, and I keep it by my bedside. And it doesn't look half bad. A little bit big and clunky, but that's okay. My dresser or my nightstand is also like a very dark wood. So this doesn't really stand out too much against it. So there's not a lot to say. All this does is it's a Bluetooth connection, and it has a DAC. There's no amp. You can't plug a headphone straight into it, so this has to be plugged into some type of an amplifier. They have their own amplifier, which I'm going to be reviewing. That also excellent combination, and of course it's the same case size and design, and it looks really good together. But you know, that'll be a different video. But this is highly recommended. I'm not going to say run out right now and buy it. Okay, I'm not hyping this, but if you're looking for a Bluetooth device with a DAC that sounds good, has a very high quality sound to it, and will work well, play nice with other products that are well known in the marketplace, this is a definite choice that you should have. It does come with its own power supply in the box. Comes with an RCA cable in the box. Comes with the antenna, and, instruction manual, that kind of thing. Really, that's it. But that's all you need. Bluetooth connection is immediate. In fact, I had to turn Bluetooth off of my phone because when I walked into my bedroom, the phone was connecting to this thing automatically. But I didn't have, one of the problems I've had with Bluetooth stuff is interruption in signal, and you get the staticky thing going on. I didn't get that with this. Now, I didn't really test distance. I didn't walk, outside and see if I could still stay connected to it. I didn't really care. When I'm using this, I'm typically, within 5 to 15 feet of it. So, this is on my nightstand. I've got a chair in the bedroom. It's off to the side. I sit in that. I've got a very long cable, so the cable plugs into this, and I listen to my headphones, and I can sort through the music on my phone or on my M11 Pro. And then Bluetooth functionality is excellent. So this is highly recommended. Let's get this guy out of the way here. Yeah, I recommend this. It's a really nice device, really well made. And so far, after 2.5 months of daily use, pretty much, no problems to report. And yeah, so great device. And I hope this video helps you guys out. Thank you very much for watching.